So we all know this situation. We are watching maker portfolio videos for MIT and thinking to ourselves, wow, I'm actually useless. I have no idea how to do this stuff. While the person our age builds a rocket that gets into the Earth's orbit, takes pictures of the Earth, and then lands in their backyard. And then proceeds to tell us that he got denied because the person that got in built a reactor out of things that he bought at Home Depot. If this resonated with you, fear not. I'm here to present to you your first, easy and affordable maker portfolio project that I myself built last year. It is this portable Raspberry Pi gadget which runs software that I wrote myself and lets you create and learn flashcards. If you never soldered before or learned anything about electronics, this is actually a really good starting project for you. I myself didn't have any practical experience prior to building this. I managed to do it and had a lot of fun. The great thing about this project is actually the choice of the software is completely up to you. I chose my flashcard software, but you can literally create a different controller layout to control the software you choose. For example, a Nintendo emulator or something like that. The full list of the components you're going to need is in the description, so you don't have to worry about compatibility. And all of the stuff that I bought for this costed me only 66 euros. Now granted, this is only the first part of this project and I haven't built like a 3D printed case for this gadget, but I would love to do like a live stream where we all would learn about how to model things for the 3D printer, because I myself have never done it before. So if you would like to see that, like this video and write it in the comments. Let's get into the project. So we got our Raspberry Pi, but we need to power it from the battery. Here we encounter our first problem. You cannot just connect it to the battery directly, you dummy. The battery output is only 3.7 volts, while the Raspberry Pi needs 5 to run. That is where the Adafruit PowerBoost 500 comes in. It lets us charge the battery and outputs 5 volts to make our Raspberry Pi run. This is actually where we need our first soldering joints. We need to connect the battery to the Adafruit, then connect the power switch to the Adafruit, and then our Raspberry Pi to the Adafruit to power it. By the way, this is how my first soldering joints looked like.
It's the biggest piece of dog.
And this is how happy I was after I found out that everything works. Okay, so I have some great news. This is actually my first time using a soldering iron. It took a long time and it's not perfect. It's probably very bad, but it works. Then we have the screen, which was much easier hardware-wise, but much more complicated software-wise. It comes with this adapter, which you can connect directly to your Raspberry Pi, so there's actually no soldering needed for this part. The problem is that it does not work from the get-go, and once you connect the screen to the Pi and run everything, you're just gonna see a blank white screen. What you need to do next is to install drivers. This can be pretty complicated, and that's why I linked a good video which I followed and managed to get it working in the description. But be cautious, in this part you actually need to compile the code, and while compiling it, you actually need to state which connectors, which pins did you use on the Raspberry Pi. And because we connected it a little different than what the guide does in the video, you need to state the correct pins. And if everything worked correctly, you should have something like this. Okay, so really good news. I've actually managed to get the
program on the Raspberry Pi. I had to do a lot of stuff. I had to disconnect the whole thing. I had to reinstall the OS because I just
Now we actually come to the last part, which is the controller, and if you have the opportunity to build a smaller prototype of the controller, do it. For this you're going to need a breadboard and a small set of buttons, which normally comes with like a breadboard set. And like this, you actually make sure that you're not missing any buttons before you actually create your own layout. Now for my use, which is the flashcard software, we're going to need 4 buttons to navigate the menus, 1 button to enter, and 1 button to escape. After I made sure that I really only need 6 buttons, I put them all in a breadboard and connected one of their ports together to form one ground port.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
And to the second port of these buttons, you actually need to solder 1 wire each, so that you can connect them then to the Raspberry Pi GPIO ports. And then, the most important thing, you're gonna need to install a software which is called GPIO Next, which then actually maps your buttons to actual keyboard presses. Again, I will also link a tutorial in the description because this would take very long, so watch this tutorial because it's very good. And there you have it, it really is that easy. It took me literally days to get the screen working. I had to reinstall the software many times because I always messed it up and got no output, which meant I couldn't control the computer anymore. And while installing my Flashcard software, I couldn't get WX widgets on the Raspberry Pi. It took me literally hours to get it on. No, I'm just kidding. I am sure that you're gonna run into your own problems, and that is part of learning. And if you don't do these mistakes, and if you have a tutorial that you can follow step by step, this is really like a basis. Like, this tells you what to do, but you still have to do a lot of stuff yourself. And I'm telling you, it's not gonna go as smoothly as I said in this tutorial. But as I said, you're gonna learn from these mistakes, and next time you build something, you can go further and further and further. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you would love to see the second part, or maybe watch a live stream where we do all of this together so we can learn how to model stuff for the 3D printer, like this video and let me know in the comments. So thank you for watching, be brave, buy a soldering station and learn how to solder. It's really rewarding. Okay, have a nice day. Bye!